In this video, I am breaking down my complete personal brand system, a system I have refined for myself and hundreds of business owners to turn their personal brand into a business that runs with them and not against them. Here's what you will learn in the next 10 minutes. Number one, the real reason most people stay stuck in creating content and how to fix it. Number two, the 5 parts of a brand that actually compounds without burnout. And number three, how to create a 120-day brand plan that drives your clarity, clients, and calm. And by the end of this video, you will see exactly what's been missing and how to finally build a purposeful brand that brings you peace and profit. And I'll be honest with you, when I hit my first million followers, I thought I made it. But a few months later, I was burned out, overthinking every post, and wondering why more people knew my brand than me, the guy who worked his ass off to make it happen. Why was I working so hard to build something that could be taken away, and why wasn't I putting the same effort, if not more, to build my own personal brand? Something that can become my greatest asset that no one can take away from me. That's when it clicked. Attention isn't the goal. Alignment is. I didn't need more followers to know my brand. I needed a system that turned attention into trust and trust into freedom. And for people to trust me, they have to know me. And for them to know me, I need to show up. So before we start, if you're new, hey, it's Brilliant here. I help business owners build authentic personal brands that attract opportunities and clients organically without losing themselves in the process. And if you've ever felt like you are doing everything right, but you still feel invisible, you still feel unclear or stuck, this video might be the reset you need. Let's be real. Most people think they have a content problem, but what they really have is a clarity problem. They're posting every day, chasing algorithms, tweaking hooks, but deep down, they don't even know what their brand stands for. That's like building a house on a quicksand. The truth is, you can't attract what you can't articulate. You can't scale what you don't understand. And that's what this system fixes. It turns chaos into clarity. Step number one, clarity. Who you are, who you serve, and why it matters. Your personal brand isn't your bio or your aesthetics or your content. It's your identity made visible. And clarity starts with what I call your core sentence. I help who go from current state to desired state through your method. For example, I help business owners build their personal brand into a purposeful and profitable asset without burning out or relying on ads. That one line becomes your compass. If your content offers or brand direction don't align with that sentence, it's noise, not strategy. When you are clear, your audience finally knows why you exist in their feed. Step number two is alignment. Bridge your offer and your content. The biggest leak in most personal brands isn't lack of traffic. It's disconnection. Their content talks about ideas, their offer solves problems, but there's no bridge in between. That's why your brand needs a content roadmap, a sequence that takes people from reach to resonance and resonance to revenue. Rich content earns attention. Resonance content earns trust. Revenue content, though, earns, well, revenue. Your content is not random. It has to be intentional. It has to get your audience to say yes when the right offer shows up. And when you do that well, you no longer need to push people to buy from you. Your personal brand already did the warm-up for you. And step number three is system. Build something that works even when you are offline, when you're sleeping. I used to think consistency, meant posting daily. Now I know it means designing something that keeps working even when you don't. Your brand shouldn't rely on your motivation. It should run on a rhythm, a system that turns your voice into visibility, your ideas into impact. Here's what I suggest. R, reveal. Show the human behind the brand, your thoughts, lessons, struggles, the stuff that builds trust. H is the highlight. Put a spotlight on your clients' results and milestone. Show what your work actually does. Y, yield. Offer value that multiplies. Tools, insights, or ideas people can apply and remember you by. T is teach. Turn your experiences into lessons. Share frameworks that help people think differently. H is humanize. Don't just teach, talk. Let people feel your tone, quirks and energy through your content. M is move, always end with movement. A call to action, a story that inspires reflection, or an invitation to go deeper into your world. Don't be afraid to reveal. Don't be afraid to highlight, teach, humanize, or even show your progress. That's how you stay consistent and build trust, not by chasing the algorithm, but by building a rhythm that compounds even while you rest. Step number 4 is proof. Credibility compounds faster than charisma. I've always believed that you don't always have to be loud if you're real, if you're authentic. You don't have to convince people if you show them. Proof is your brand's currency. Share what's working for you, for your clients, and even what didn't work. Transparency builds authority faster than perfection ever will. The best brands, they don't market perfection. They model growth. So ways to share proof is through client stories. You can highlight real results with permissions, data drops. In the last 3 months, we did X, and here's what worked. Through process reviews, show how you think, how you decide, and how you create, or even behind the scenes. Let people see the effort behind your outcomes. When people see the process, they don't just believe in your brand, they believe in you. And step number 5 is freedom. Build a brand that buys back your peace. Your personal brand should fund your freedom, not your fatigue. So ask yourself this: what kind of work do I want more of? Who do I want to serve a long term? What can I automate or delegate to protect my energy? Freedom, it happens when your brand sustains your life, not the other way around. It's when your business feels like an extension of your essence, not a job you created for yourself. So remember this: success that costs your nervous system isn't success, it's survival. And you deserve more than survival. Now we've come to the part where you start finally taking action. Your 120-day plan. So if you've been creating without direction, take 20 minutes today to map this out. This is your blueprint to go from posting without direction to building a brand that runs on clarity, rhythm, and proof. Now, each month focuses on one key shift that compounds into long-term momentum. Month 1 is where you focus on defining your foundation and aligning your offers. The goal here is to build clarity and make sure your message, content, and offers point in the same direction. Craft your core sentence, a one-line summary of who you help, how, and why. Identify your brand values, your brand tone, and also your brand style, so your brand feels consistent and is intentional. And finally, update your bio, your story highlights, and pinned posts to reflect your clarity. Remember, the focus here in month 1 is direction, not volume. Month 2, analyze, reevaluate, track, and research. The goal here is to understand what's working, what's not, and how your audience actually sees you. Track your last month's content. Note what earns, saves, DMs, or engagement. Collect audience feedback, whether through story posts, comments, DMs, or even story replies. Revisit your core sentence and content. Do they still feel clear and relevant? If not, you can readjust. Here, you can also study your competitors or peers. What topics and tones resonate most in your niche? And then refine your messaging, hooks, and content style based on the data. Remember, clarity grows through action and observation. Month 3, build your rhythm. The goal this month is to design a sustainable system that keeps your brand alive even when you are offline. Create your weekly content rhythm using the rhythm system. Reveal, highlight, yield, teach, humanize, move. Start batching content once per week and repurpose your best performing ideas. Automate what drains you, schedule posts, reuse templates, delegate editing if possible. Remember, the goal here isn't volume, it's momentum. You want a brand that keeps moving even when you are resting. Month 4, collect proof and simplify your system. The goal here is to show credibility, streamline your process, and make your system lighter. Super important, guys. Build your proof bank, like testimonials, screenshots, client wins, behind the scenes. Gather this data, interview your clients, ask for feedbacks. Then using those data, share 1 to 2 behind the scenes or how I did it posts weekly to build authority naturally. Of course, Don't forget to review your full workflow from ideation all the way to editing to delivery. Simplify the steps or remove what's unnecessary. Delegate or automate repetitive steps so you can focus on creating and connecting. After 120 days, if you do this consistently, what you'll have is a clear, consistent message, offers that connect naturally with your content, and then a content rhythm that runs smoothly, real proof that builds trust, and finally, a workflow that supports your piece, not drains it. And remember, you don't need to become louder. You just need to become clear. I'm Brilliant Liu, and this is how you build a brand that buys back your time, peace, and purpose. If this hit home and you were done trying to figure this out alone, I'd love to help you. Book a call with me through the link in the description, and let's build your personal brand system together. One that attracts clients, compounds trust, and actually feels like you. Because the moment you get clear, everything else gets easier.